Who do you think is the primary victim of war, men or women?
I think men
Both.
suffer more. Men suffer
talking
more,
about
but
other
women
countries.
have a duty and they have a role and they have a value.
Both.
Okay.
And during
So
the times of war.
What's your answer?
It's all about perception. Do you feel like losing your life in this life? Do you feel like that's the worst thing that could happen to you? To me, I don't think that because of my religious beliefs.
Well,
I
good.
believe.
Then get drafted and be
Right.
quiet about
Well,
it.
what I'm trying to say is it's all about perception. She's
Get
saying that the
drafted, who
woman is not
cares?
as suffering as bad as the man because he's dying. No, he's dying for his country. That's an honor. A woman,
And
she's
what are
sitting
you
there got to take
doing?
care of the kid.
You-
She has
you
to
at
work. She
home
has
sewing
to
socks?
take
Like,
care
what
of
are you
all
doing?
these things, and she don't have no man
Agriculture,
anymore.
nursing.
Wait, so let's-
Agriculture, nursing,
Yeah.
sickness, nursing, going into the war, helping the people get better. Like there's so many things a woman has to do, and you guys are
Yeah,
disregarding.
but
it.
here's the
who's
thing.
Yeah,
They're not.
I am
hang on,
dis- no, no,
hang
no,
on,
no.
hang on.
He's
They're not
doing his
compelled
job
to do any
too.
of those
That's his
things.
I am
job.
disregarding it. I absolutely am disregarding it. You're not going to sit here and say that women sacrifice more when it comes to war than men.
I'm not
Never
saying
said
that.
That's literally.
I never said
yes,
that.
I am going to
I literally
disregard
never said that.
women's wartime
I never said that.
sacrifices. Of course, I'm going to fucking say that.
I'm actually happy to get into your argument. I think that, again,
course
you
you
made
are.
at least a counter argument, and so I do want to get into it because
then
it is a counter
My
argument.
whole
So your
point is
counter
not
argument
even
is-
about the dang war, because I even just said that in the beginning. My
Yeah,
whole
I know,
point
I
was
know.
about
Listen,
women being
I'm
able
not,
to vote.
let me repeat your position back to you so that you know that I know what it is, okay? Your position is women are at home and they're sacrificing even during wartime. They're keeping the fires burning.
Yeah.
They're keeping the houses warm. They're keeping the kids fed. There is a form of
Keeping
sacrifice
life
that
going.
women are doing.
Keeping life going.
Yeah. Am I wrong, or is that your argument?
Yeah, they're right. You're
Okay,
right.
great. Then I would like to respond to the argument. Okay, so while I will grant that this is true, you're not compelled to do so. Meaning, there's no draft making you take care of the home front. There's no draft making you take care of these things. There's no draft making sure that even at home you're following domestic duties to make it better for men when they get back. You're still not compelled. And it's because of that, you will always face a lesser consequence than men for a war, which means you would have more incentive to elect politicians who could start one.
So you're saying that men who are sick or disabled, they shouldn't have the right to vote either because they're sick
No.
and disabled, they can't fight
My
in war.
argument is that the potential, as long as the potential exists,
There are
that
men who can't
every
get
man
drafted.
can be compelled. Every man can be compelled into the armed services, regardless of disability. They could be a fucking vegetable, and the military can draft them legally. The military can come in and draft their asses legally because they are compelled to go into service. Women are not. Because that potential exists, they're going to be far more responsible when it comes to electing politicians who won't start wars because they have to go fucking fight them. And here at home, the counter argument is, but the women will be home taking care of the fires. Maybe, but they're not compelled to do so. And since they're not compelled to do so, there's no reason
So what
for
do
us
you want
to
us to
believe
do,
that they'll
starve?
even do that.
You want to starve?
Wait,
You
want
think?
us to
Wait,
go
what do you mean
fire?
women
Like,
are
what
not
do you mean?
compelled to? You think
Compelled.
that they don't love their country just as men? You think that a woman can't love her
Well, if
country
they love
just
their
as a
country
man?
just as much as men, why aren't they out there
But
saying
why do then that's where comes gender roles. So you're saying, well, if a
because of
woman loves her
gender
family
roles.
just as much as a man, then why can't she pick up the gun and save us from getting robbed?
No, what I'm saying to you is that
That's
if the
same
man
thing.
is going
You're
to be
saying
the
the
one
same
who
thing. You're
picks
saying I
up
should
the...
be a man.
Let me respond to your argument. I'm saying to you that if the man is the one who you expect to pick up the gun and defend you from the robber who's breaking in, he should get the big fucking piece of chicken, shouldn't he?
He already does. Like, he already does.
Yeah, and the reason he
already
does
does.
is because the
That's
expectation is that he does that for you. So he gets something additional that you don't get. That's how that works. You already treat it that way because of, gender roles.
Okay, so who do you think should get more respect, the mother or the father? Who should get more respect, the mother or the father?
Well, they're respected in different ways.
But who should?
But who should have
I
the
think
higher
that
supremacy? If you had to
ultimately-
save either mother or father, who
Yeah,
should
when
be
you're
saved?
talking about stop. I'm gonna try to.
It's all going
All
down
I'm trying
to
to
the
do is
same topic.
understand the question first before I answer it. When you say more in this instance,
Okay,
are you saying? Okay, you don't want me to get clarification
No,
of the
I just
question?
said I apologize. I'm waiting for your answer.
Yeah, I know, but I need you to clarify a point first,
Okay,
so I
right.
can answer.
Right.
When you say the word more in this instance, are you saying that kids should respect dad more than mom? Are you saying love more? Or are you
matters
saying it's a
more?
combination of these things?
Who literally matters more? If you had to save a mother or a father before
Mm-hmm.
falling down a cliff, who matters more to save?
You're asking him like three different
It's the
questions.
same
Yeah.
question.
It's
the
totally
same
different.
question.
Well, okay, so I'll start
the same
with the
overall
one I just
question.
heard, the falling down the cliff. So I personally would likely save the woman, but not because she matters to society more, but because there's an obligatory duty under Christian ethics to do that first. That's why.
Okay, so now you're
Then she can
acknowledging
create her life.
the power of a woman. You're acknowledging that women have value in that.
No, I'm
We are not the
acknowledging that
same
there's
as
divine
man. We're not
command.
the same as a man, but we have value and we have power and we have
I didn't say you don't have value. I just said your value is not in parliamentary politics. In fact, you're claiming your value is not in parliamentary politics. You're claiming your value is in a support role at home, where you're, sewing up the fucking socks and cooking the meals and keeping the home fires warm and not out there fighting the wars. So if that's what your duty is, if that's where your place is, then why the fuck are you in parliamentary politics voting to send men to war? That doesn't make any
If
sense.
I have a service to this world, if I have a talent, if I have the knowledge to help this world, I, as a woman, will put my talent to use.
Yeah, but you're talking
So
about gender roles.
why
It's, like,
do you
all
need
over
the right to
place.
vote to do that?
No, it's all coming down to the same thing. It's all coming down to a man being drafted into the war, and they're saying women shouldn't vote because men
Women can
are
have a
going to
voice, but
draft
it is.
it.
I agree. I agree with the point where it's like Iran, obviously, women have such less freedoms and voice and whatever it is. I get it, but at age of 18, my brother, or 16, if you don't leave the country, my brother will get drafted. I'm safe. My brother is not. My brother can never go back to Iran because he will get drafted and has to go to war. So for me, I agree with that. Where if you want to talk about gender roles, then yes, there has to be like an incentive, like Andrew's talking about, that there has to be bigger thing for the man versus the woman. I want to bring back the gender roles. I want to be at home. I want to be the nurturer. Yes, you can have value. You can add to society. It's no one's saying that, but like I want people to have, women and men have equal, but I'm not equal to a man. So if they need to have more rights, more voice into things, then yes, because I'm not going to be able to fulfill the things that men do. I'm not going to go
So
to
you
war. I
believe
don't
that you
wanna fucking go to
shouldn't
war.
vote? You believe that you shouldn't
No,
vote
I
as a
can
woman?
vote, but if it comes
no,
to
but
the
he's
pa-
saying that we shouldn't be
If
able
it
to
comes
vote
to the-
because we're not being drafted.
If
So
it
you're agreeing
becomes
with
to the
that statement.
yeah, there's a part of it that if it's the politics of war, if we're going to bring back, if we said earlier, if we're going to change things and bring the the man, feminine roles, bring back the masculinity. Okay, if we're going to change things, then yes, there should be a change. If we're going to bring the more masculine, if I want to be a stay-home wife, then yes, the man being the masculine, he should have a higher voice.
So you're
Even
saying
as Islam, like when it comes to, we are coming from a place that my dad is the head of the household. In Iran, that's how I was raised. My dad said, whatever my dad
that's not
says
wrong,
goes.
yeah.
So it's, for me, I agree with them because it's like, if we're going to change the system, if there'll be a change, if the masculinity wants to come back and we want to be in our feminine role, no one's saying devalue us. It's just saying we want to be in our feminine role, so then there has to be a
saying
change. The
men
men
should be
have
like
higher
someone-
no, they
Somebody
should
gave
have
you a
higher
right.
voice.
Hey, this is a golden ticket. It's your right to speak. She's over here trying to take it back. Like, no, you can't. We don't want
It's
this
not saying
ticket.
speak,
Be
but
quiet.
it's like it's saying like if you're politics,
Go
if you're
back
not
to
going to
being
step
the
up
submissive slave.
No, it's not. See, that's the thing. That's the triggers of being submissive. The being submissive slave. That doesn't mean that's
Wait,
Because you're
isn't,
taking away
hold
a
on.
woman's power.
Isn't
not
Islam
taking away.
literally means submission?
Yes, and submission is not a bad thing. Submitting is
well,
not a
don't say
bad thing.
submissive
I'm
slave.
talking about
That's
from a woman to a man, not from a woman to her.
Well, I don't know what
No,
the-
a woman, that is an honor when you, in
So woman
Islam.
submitting is
hold on,
fine.
in
That's
Islam, no.
part of our religion.
Even in Islam, as it is an honor when a woman decides that she wants to submit to her man.
husband, yes,
okay, so
agreed.
don't say it's a submissive slave and it's about
I'm
the higher
talking
power.
about taking away
No.
your power, what she just said.
Okay,
about
hang on.
taking
To
power.
quote-
You're
You're
laying
laying
I
on
want.
the
I
right
found. I
given
found
to you.
your. I found your
get it.
guy
It's
here.
taken
To
away.
quote
I'm
him,
saying you still have a voice, but you have a voice
Hang
in
on, hang on, and
different
let me make this quote real quick. This comes from your guy that you brought up, Maximus Decimus Meridian, and he says, "When death comes and smiles at you, all you can do is smile back." Right? That's his quote. Would you agree with that quote from
Yeah.
Maximus Decimus Meridian?
Yes, I agree. I just said that
Yeah.
during the war thing. I literally just said
Yeah.
death is not the
Do you
worst
think
thing to
women
happen.
are on the front lines of the battlefield smiling back at death?
Yes, because if you're fighting for jihad,
Yes.
jihad is an honorable death. So you're saying you're fighting for you're fighting for your country, you're fighting for justice, you're fighting for your peace in this life, and you die. That's the most honorable death.
Yeah, but women are not okay. We're talking
But
about. I don't know if we're talking about hypothetically or what it is. Because the question that I addressed earlier, if we're going to change things, then yes, I want men to have the say and more control in politics because they do put their lives on the line. Period. That's the thing. No
disagree
one's
with
saying
that.
don't vote. You can vote on different things.
I didn't
but if it
disagree
com-
with that.
Yeah,
I didn't disagree with that. My point is saying, my whole point, that since I started speaking, was women should be able to vote.
They should be able to vote, but not into politics.
All
It's
right.
like
That was
things
my point. I
pertaining
never
to
said
war.
men
I do have to move it on a little bit here. Desert Joe, keeping this in the context of the